Mr. Speaker, the American people suffered for 4 years of lawlessness, incompetence, and habitual failure under Joe Biden and Democrat leadership. One self-inflicted disaster after another. Border chaos, rampant crime, feckless foreign policy, and spending-induced inflation we haven't seen in a half a century, a crushing cost of living crisis, and the worst regressive tax on working families in this country. And in the historic election of 2024, our citizens gave us unified Republican leadership and an unambiguous and unequivocal message. They said, "We want strong, competent leaders, common sense policies, and a commitment to America and Americans first." For our part, Mr. Speaker, from day one, Republicans have united and relentlessly delivered in reversing those failed Democrat policies, delivering on the American people's priorities, and restoring America's greatness and the American spirit along with it. And we've been doing this, Mr. Speaker, in the face of unprecedented Democrat obstruction. They either didn't listen to the American people in the election of 2024, or worse, they didn't care. And instead of humble self-reflection and change, the Democrat Party has doubled down on their radical agenda and has hastened their march to Democrat socialism. Their entire strategy has been to resist Republicans, obstruct the president at all fronts, at all cost, even if it hurts our great nation, its success, and the safety and security of the American people, sadly. Exhibit A, the Democrats shut the government down for the first time in history when we presented a clean CR to continue the funding of last year until we could work out an appropriations deal. They rejected it, and their demand was to repeal the safeguards that we put to prevent illegals and ineligible people from draining the safety net that is there for vulnerable Americans. Then they shut Homeland Security down, and they held not only TSA agents and Coast Guardsmen hostage, they held the American people and our security hostage for absurd and dangerous demands that would have returned our country back to the Biden border nightmare, along with endangering our hardworking and brave Border Patrol and ICE agents. The Democrats have gone on time and time again with this unprecedented obstruction. Recently, they blocked the National Defense Authorization Act to protest President Trump and our troops' efforts to stop this radical terrorist regime from having nuclear weapons. They blocked FISA, which is a critical tool for our intelligence agencies to stave off and thwart terrorist attacks and Chinese espionage and hacking into our critical infrastructure. Mr. Speaker, I could go on and on. Let me tell you what we've done as Republicans, relentlessly, every day, with a commitment to the people who sent us up here. In Reconciliation 1.0, we prevented the largest tax hike in our nation's history, 22%, which would have been on top of the 21% increase in prices they experienced from Biden inflation. We gave permanent tax relief to working families and small businesses. We made the largest investment in rebuilding our military, restoring their spirit, peace through strength for the U.S. of A., and we saved record $1.6 trillion in rooting out waste, fraud, and abuse that was robbing taxpayers and was weakening the safety net for our most vulnerable. Reconciliation 2.0, unfortunately, we had to burn a reconciliation and go at it again unilaterally. Republicans stopping the defunding of ICE and CBP. That's right. We didn't get a single Democrat vote to fund ICE and CBP. And the only way we turned Homeland Security back on is they wanted to cut them out of the equation. That's what we did with the second reconciliation. And here we are, Reconciliation 3.0, supporting our troops in their time of need. Just baseline battlefield readiness, Mr. Speaker, bullets and bombs to finish the job and to come home safely and victoriously, strengthen our food supply, and ultimately, we want to safeguard the integrity of our elections. We want to restore the American people's confidence because, as the founder said in the Declaration of Independence, there is no just government without the consent of the governed, and there's no legitimate consent, and there's no functioning democracy if the American people have no confidence in this election. And by the way, it's not just the president. It's not just MAGA Republicans. Nancy Pelosi in 2017 said this: our election was hijacked. There is no question. Congress has a duty to protect our democracy. Well, you know what, Mr. Speaker? I agree with Nancy Pelosi. We have a duty. We have a duty to safeguard our elections. We have a duty to restore confidence in what underpins the will of the people, their freedoms, our common defense, and the general welfare of every American in this country. So I encourage my, not just Republicans, but my Democrat colleagues, join us in supporting our troops and safeguarding our elections and saving America.